Reddit user afh43 has been pointed to in almost every creepy Reddit post list and dark Reddit themed video on YouTube. This is the story of a man who became so obsessed with the idea of immortality that it drove him to madness. 5 years ago, this Reddit user would post a thread on AskPhysics titled, "The theory of quantum immortality has driven me to a state of pure anxiety and terror over the last week. Is it true? Has it been debunked? I can't do this anymore." A very basic rundown of quantum immortality is that if you were to die from, let's say, a car hitting you, the universe, dimension, or whatever you'd like to call it would split into two. One where you have died, and the other where you continue to live. But from your perspective, you would continue living as if nothing had ever happened, leaving behind a separate universe where you had actually been killed. Some people believe this to go even further and prevent death from aging. In AFH's post, his comments come off desperate to have someone disprove the theory, and he states, "What makes me anxious is the fact that I don't want to be alive against my will. I don't want to live forever." Unfortunately for him, this post only receives 4 upvotes and a total of 14 comments, none of which seem to alleviate his anxiety. Not long after, he would post, "The theory of quantum immortality has driven me to a really dark place. I'm living in a state of pure terror. Is there reason not to believe it is true? Can it be debunked?" Ask Philosophy bears some fruit, but no one is able to convince AFH that this theory is not credible. AFH would create 2 more threads in AskScience subreddits and find more responses in, "The possibility of quantum immortality is making my life unbearable. Is it a credible theory? It makes complete sense to me and I can't believe I'm the only one losing my mind over it." But again, no one can convince him that this theory is not the reality, despite how hard they try to reason with him. AFH would continue with post after post, all pretty much saying the exact same thing. The quantum immortality theory was causing him immense anxiety because from what his comments seem to point to, he sees it as an endless cycle of pain. After 13 more posts on the same topic in quick succession of one another, AFH makes his final post to Ask Science titled, "Quantum Immortality, I'm killing myself soon. It's too much, I can't do it anymore." After this post, he would go missing, and for 5 years, his posts would appear on every creepy Reddit post list or comment thread. But AFH, as far as I know, is still alive. Viewing now deleted posts from him, we can see 2 posts have been made. In 2019, AFH would post, "While recovering from a psychotic breakdown/suicide attempt, I, 22 male, met the only girl, 22 female, I have ever fallen in love with. Due to my state, it didn't work out. I'm considering asking her out again. I am AFH43, a regular feature on those dark creepy Reddit history threads. I am still alive." On the relationship advice subreddit, he writes, "It's been a long time since I've logged into this account. I thought it had been long forgotten by everyone. However, after logging in a few days ago, I saw that my inbox was full of hundreds of messages from people asking how I am, or whether I am even alive. I also saw that my username had been mentioned in a lot of dark creepy Reddit history, Ask Reddit posts. These were extremely hard for me to read because I try not to think about that time in my life. Nearly 3 years ago, I woke up one morning and my mind simply broke. I believed that because of quantum immortality, I would never be able to die, and therefore would experience all of the greatest sufferings possible, over and over again, for all eternity. I felt there was no escape. It was like a panic attack of the highest intensity that did not end for weeks. For the first time, I understood what Emil Cioran meant when he said, 'We dread the future only when we are not sure we can kill ourselves when we want to.' Surviving a suicide attempt only worsened my delusions. It was only once I started antipsychotic medication during my stay in a psych ward that I began to put the pieces of my life back together and return to normality. It was during the process of getting back on my feet that I met a girl whom I completely fell for. We went on a few dates, we even kissed, but because of what I was going through, I was so nervous around her that it made things a bit awkward, and I was very much emotionally closed up. I think I just tried too hard to make something happen. I just wasn't ready. I was still recovering from a truly traumatic and horrific experience that had completely shattered my mind. I only really started to become myself, to come out of my shell, after we stopped seeing each other and I began my first relationship with another girl. My girlfriend was a pretty incredible person, and over the last year with her I learned to enjoy life, to become free and uninhibited by anxieties. I became open, I became comfortable with myself and who I was, and with the constraints on my existence. I made peace with my experience with my delusions. Today I am happy and in control of my life, truly. That relationship ended a few months ago. I have been on dates with other people since then, but still, I feel like this person who I kissed all those years ago is the one. I never stopped thinking about her, even during my last relationship, especially when things went bad. I can't help but wonder if we had met now for the first time, what would have happened between us. Even though I haven't spoken to her in well over a year, I just still felt this overwhelming sense of unfulfilled possibilities with her. I wonder if I'd still be nervous around her. I don't know. I feel so different now, but still I don't have that answer. I was considering sending her a message on Facebook asking if she wanted to go out again sometime, just to see if anything has changed or if it could work. I'm not sure how to word it, or if I even should do it. I don't know what to tell her. After experiencing some personal family losses over the last year, I've realized that life is fleeting and I don't have much to lose. So how can I approach this in a way that is not totally cringeworthy? AFH's next post was as recent as the 9th of January 2022, but it paints a bleak picture. I'm still here. Unfortunately, I'm still here. For a few years now, my life has been pretty good, but at the moment, I'm having an unrelated breakdown and I'm in the hospital for other mental reasons. I wish I could commit suicide, but I'm still too scared. Maybe it's worth facing it though. I'll have to face death eventually. I'm stuck in hell, and my life is fucked. I might turn to drugs to have some relief from this relentless pain. I just need to sleep and never wake up. Maybe that can be my reality. I just can't do this. I feel alone. I'm terrified and numb at the same time. The default state of my life is suffering. If anyone can help dissuade me from quantum immortality, please tell me. But please don't make it worse for me. I'm in agony. Nothingness is a beautiful thing. I just want out. I know it will transfer the pain to other people, and that makes me feel horrible. I wish I didn't have these beliefs. If I didn't, I wouldn't be here right now. Since my last post, I've been diagnosed with OCD, and that explains a lot. I've been given Seroquel today to help me start thinking rationally. This may sound stupid, but this situation has to do with heartbreak and very specific and absurd triggering factors related to it. Maybe that sounds stupid, but I found love, real love, and now it might be over. Life is suffering. I am suffering. I don't want to be here anymore. I wish this was physical pain instead. I really envy Emil Chiran. Suicide was a wonderful fantasy to him at times, because at any moment he knew he could escape, and that gave him immense comfort. My mind is broken, and I don't think I'll ever be able to fix it. The story of afh43 is a rather sad one, and unlike my previous Reddit video on spontaneous H, it unfortunately does not have an uplifting ending. But that doesn't mean there can't be one in the future. Thanks for listening.